Oregon got a very interesting addition in the transfer portal this week, plus a few other notable players and the latest on them in the portal. All that and more on today's episode of 4th and 10. 4 college football stories in just around 10 minutes. Now, let's go for it. Before we get to today's video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you're watching this video, odds are that you love college football, and odds are you aren't subscribed to my channel, so make sure to subscribe to one of the best college football communities here on YouTube. The transfer portal never fails to surprise us, as we get shocking news every day. There was a pretty interesting transfer earlier in the week, one that I wasn't expecting at all. Do you guys remember how Oregon landed Dillon Gabriel last week from Oklahoma? Well, it was pretty big news. Gabriel was considered to be the top quarterback available in the transfer portal, and it was quite the get for Oregon. They got their guy right as the portal opened. Turns out, they weren't done. They added another quarterback in the portal this week, and it was a pretty notable one. The Ducks landed former UCLA quarterback and 5-star recruit Dante Moore. He was the most highly touted recruit quarterback in the Chip Kelly era and is likely going to spend the 2024 season redshirting. He would have been competing with Ethan Garbers for the starting job at UCLA in 2024, but I guess he opted to change programs. Here's what Moore said in his last interview as a Bruin. "There's just a lot of things I've been going through, mentally and things like that. Just far from home and doing these type of things can be pretty tough at times." Dante Moore originally committed to Oregon at a Detroit King High School before he turned to the Bruins because quarterback Bo Nix decided to return to the Ducks for a 5th season, and offensive coordinator Kenny Dillingham left for Arizona State. Moore chose UCLA because of Chip Kelly's track record of developing quarterbacks. Well, things didn't go as planned during his first season there. In fact, it looks like he left UCLA because that wasn't the case. Here's what Moore told 24/7 Sports. "For these next upcoming years, I just want to go to a place where I can get developed, and having a staff around you that's going to help develop you." This comes full circle as Moore and Dillon Gabriel are finally teammates. Gabriel committed to transfer to UCLA from UCF in December of 2021. Then, once Dorian Thompson-Robinson announced he'd be going back to UCLA, Gabriel opted to transfer to Oklahoma, where Lincoln Riley was going to USC and taking Caleb Williams with him. Dante Moore played well in 3 victories over some pretty bad opponents earlier in the year. He threw 7 passing touchdowns with only 1 interception. Many people thought he would win the job and be the starting quarterback for the rest of the season and for the foreseeable future. But everything unraveled in a 14-7 loss to Utah in the 4th game of the season. Moore's pass was intercepted and returned for a touchdown. He also lost a fumble and was sacked a total of 7 times. It was an awful showing and an awful performance. In his first game against a good opponent, he looked like he wasn't ready to be the starting quarterback. UCLA defeated Washington State the next week, but Moore played poorly in a loss against Oregon State, and he lost the job to Ethan Garbers. Moore was given one more opportunity when he replaced an injured Garbers early in the regular season finale against Cal, but he threw 2 interceptions and lost a fumble as the Bruins lost by nearly 30 points. It didn't help that UCLA had one of the worst offensive lines in the entire country. They gave up 42 sacks during the season, ranking number 122 out of 130 FBS teams. That's not ideal for a freshman that is really struggling. Overall, Moore appeared in 9 games with the Bruins this past season. He completed only 53% of his passes. He threw for 1,600 yards, throwing 11 touchdowns with 9 interceptions. So he's going to go to Oregon and be Dillon Gabriel's backup in 2024. Then once Gabriel leaves, it looks like Dante Moore should be the starting quarterback for the Ducks in 2025. Alright, let's see what else is going on in the transfer portal as a number of notable players have entered or chosen their new programs. We'll start with former Arkansas quarterback KJ Jefferson as he finally entered the portal. For weeks, there was a lot of speculation surrounding him, but he finally entered. With 5 years of experience with the Razorbacks, he's one of the more established names currently in the portal among quarterbacks. He's thrown for just under 8,000 yards with 67 passing touchdowns during his time. He made 39 starts with Arkansas, going 20-19. The Razorbacks had plans to move on as they recently brought in Boise State transfer quarterback Taylon Green. With college football now in its dead period, Jefferson won't be able to make any visits until January 3rd. According to On3, 3 programs have emerged as schools to watch early in his recruitment. Some of those teams to watch include Miami, UCF, and TCU. Another player who just entered the transfer portal is former Texas A&M wide receiver Evan Stewart. The former 5-star recruit was the number 13 overall recruit in the 22 class, and he joins a number of former highly touted recruits that have left A&M this week. The Aggies have now lost 8 ESPN 300 commitments from the 22 class. Stewart played as a true freshman in the 2022 campaign and was named to the All-SEC freshman team after finishing the year with 53 catches for 700 yards and 2 touchdowns. He looked like he was emerging as one of the up-and-coming wide receivers in the country, but he took a bit of a step back in 2023. He still led the team in touchdown receptions with 4, but he had only 500 receiving yards on only 38 receptions. Depending on which outlet you look at, a number of them have Evan Stewart listed as the number 1 wide receiver currently available in the transfer portal. If he goes to the right system with a great quarterback, he could be one of the top wide receivers in all of college football next season. We'll wrap up today's video with Ole Miss, as they landed yet another stud in the portal. They landed former South Carolina wide receiver Juice Wells. After starting his career at James Madison, Wells became one of the top wide receivers in the SEC. In 2022, he was second in the conference with 68 catches. He finished with just under 1,000 receiving yards and 6 receiving touchdowns. Everyone was expecting an even bigger season from him in 2023, but an injury in the middle of September cost him the rest of his campaign. Here's what Wells told ESPN about his decision to transfer. "I like the way their football program is trending right now. They're on the rise. I want to be a part of a winning culture. I love the way Coach Kiffin and Coach Weiss run their offense. When I first went down there, we were doing a lot of recruiting stuff, and that didn't really interest me. Then we sat down and talked X's and O's, and that's when I got excited. I guess they're going to utilize my athletic abilities every which way they can." Ole Miss already has an explosive offense, but they're going to look even better in 2024. Well, that wraps it up for today's episode of 4th and 10. What are your thoughts on Dante Moore transferring to Oregon? Do you think it's a smart decision for him to wait another year to be a starter, or do you think he should have gone somewhere else where he could have started in 2024? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comment section down below. If there are any videos you'd like to see this offseason, drop a comment below and it could be featured as my next video. Before you leave, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to my channel. I'm posting college football videos all offseason, so make sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. Also, don't forget to drop a like on this video as well. It helps out with that YouTube algorithm and helps share the video with more college football fans. Plus, it only takes a second to do. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.